Daily habits. These are just small little things that we can do in our day that are going to kind of push us in the right direction. And when I say the right direction, it's the right direction for you. So, like, based on your desires and your goals and what you want to exude as a person, it may just be, I just want to be the person that people can trust, right? Or that people, when they hear me talk, they know that I have gratitude for what I'm experiencing or what my life is doing or whatever it may be. When we're talking about mindset, it can kind of be all over the place, but it's just whatever you want to direct your thoughts to go and to take you in life. And that can take you in two different directions. It can take you to a more negative mind space, and it can take you to a more positive mind space. And most of what I'm referring to here is just because it's where most people lie, is they want to move to a more positive mind space, and things that you can do for that. What I want to say is, like, from the very, very beginning of the day, you can adjust where you're going to be. Have you ever heard of like the whole like got out of bed or woke up on the wrong side of the bed type of thing? Having negative influences impact the very beginning of your day have longer lasting effects throughout your day than something that might happen later on. So I want you to be very mindful of what you do first thing in the morning. What's your routine? What outside influences are kind of seeping into your day right from the beginning, right when you wake up in the morning? Are you on social media? Do you listen to the news? Are you reading the newspaper, if you still get the newspaper? What types of words are you saying to yourself? Are you saying to yourself, it's going to be a terrible day? Oh, it's a Monday. Like, what sorts of things are you feeding yourself? And when you think about that logically, where is that leading your attitude about the rest of the day? So when we are setting a positive mindset or a growth mindset or whatever sort of mindset we want to set, we have to ask ourselves at some point, is what I'm doing right now supporting the things that I ultimately want to achieve, the way that I want to live my day? And if they're not, that's the opportunity, that's the little key to say, oh, this is a place where I can make a change. And when the biggest thing that people do is, especially around New Year's, is they make really, really grand and big resolutions. So I'm going to change all of this stuff. And they get completely overwhelmed and they set themselves up basically for a failure. And then they say, oh, like it's a New Year's resolution, I always break those. And then they have an excuse. So then you have an excuse to not actually do the things that you really do want to do. You just, are trying to look for an out. So thinking about your language choices, I'm sorry, resolutions. I get all caught up and ahead of myself. So when you're thinking about a resolution or even a daily habit that you want to start to incorporate in, I want you to think small, like really, really tiny small. Here's an example. Last year, I started working out. Well, I was working out, but I started doing a certain sort of workout first thing in the morning. And my husband, we have this little routine where he gets up at like 5:45 or something, and he needs a little bit more time to wake up and get his head together in the morning, and I need less time. So he would get up 15 minutes or so before me, and then he'd come upstairs and he would wake me up. So I wasn't waking up to an alarm, I was waking up to him. So he'd come in and he'd be like, hey Steph, do you want to work out? Okay, so he'd ask me this question, and I think actually there are very few people who are trying to start a new routine who have asked the question, do you feel like doing this new routine that you said you were going to do when you had a ton of energy, right when you wake up in the morning, are going to pop out of bed and say, yes, every single day. I had to change, or I asked him to change the language, and it was purposeful. I didn't want him to feel like he was being mean. He was asking me to try and be nice and wake me up gently. And I told him, instead of saying, would you like to? I had already made the decision that yes, I like to, but I made it when I had energy. And so when he comes up now, he says, Stephanie, it's time to get up. Just, it's time. It's not, a question. You don't have to make a decision. And those habits help us to reduce the number of decisions we have to make, because by the end of the day, if you've had to make too many decisions, your decisions get lazier and lazier and lazier. So this is why the things that we do first thing when we get up in the morning are the most important. So speaking positively about our day, not being influenced by those negative things. We stopped watching the news in the morning. We stopped having the news on at all. I don't go on social media until my workout is done. Some people choose to do a gratitude journal or some sort of a journal. Maybe it's a reading of the Bible, or of some sort of devotional. It may be even listening to something consistently every day. Maybe it's a podcast, something short, something that you fit in while you're making breakfast, let's say. However that day starts, I want you to just be mindful of how you're choosing to start it versus the way you've always done it. It's just your time to rethink that part of your day. The other thing is to beware of when you're telling yourself, I should. The shoulding throughout your day is a tearing down of a positive mindset. It's kind of like it's telling yourself over and over and over again that you should do it, but you're not. So ultimately, you're failing like all of the time because you should be doing this, you should be doing that. If you would like to accomplish something, if you are going to, if that's something you want to incorporate in your day tomorrow, different ways of saying that and removing some of the shaming of yourself that you're doing, that is going to ultimately affect that mindset and that positive mindset just for having a positive day. There's other things that you can do, like checking in around lunchtime and just maybe even setting an alarm at 10 a.m. Just pick a time, or 2 p.m., whatever it is, when it just is like a little alert that says, check in with how you're feeling in that moment. Alarm works the best because then you're not only checking in when you like feel like checking in, or like, oh, like I'm happy, so like I'm going to check in. Look at how happy I am right now. Why am I happy? What did I do to make myself happy? It's more of an obligation that way, where if you choose making an alarm, it kind of surprises you. And then you're like, oh, like I wasn't even thinking about how I feel. How do I feel right now? How is my day going? How's my day going in comparison to the way I idealized it? And just a reflection, and non-judgmental about that either, but allow yourself to say, I kind of like to switch it up a little bit. I feel like I need to go take a walk and refresh my mind because I can see myself spiraling downward. Just bringing an awareness to where we're being directed and how we're feeling in response to that. Because all of the mindset things, all of the decisions that we're making, there's probably some sort of an emotion driving behind it. And we can fuel a positive emotion with a positive mindset, which kind of just, it just chains things along and helps the rest of our day to go that much better. And maybe you would start to bring an awareness to things that you really want to bring an awareness to versus things that maybe are going to support a negative mindset. Like I said the other day, the whole, oh, like everybody cuts me off when I'm driving on the highway. And then pretty soon you're noticing like everybody cutting you off because you started to bring your focus to it, or you started to bring your focus just to bad drivers in general. Where if you are choosing to say, I always get those green lights. I always hit green lights. Like, I don't know what it is about me. Whenever I'm driving, I'm hitting green lights. Every time you hit a green light, you're going to say, see, look, I hit green lights. Look at that. Okay, so it's a different way of directing your thoughts. So get back to that. The last thing that you can do is a little bedtime reflection. I can say that I'm not very good at bedtime. I'm pretty tired when it comes to bedtime. I'm not ready to just like rehash my day. But a lot of people, they really need that winding down time. I tend to do it more after dinner, like when I'm cleaning up from dinner. Like, how did my day go? How did I feel today? How did I respond? Like, am I up for a heavy conversation with my teenager? Sometimes I'm too tired. And I say to myself, be careful. You're tired. If you have a hard conversation, you may not react the way you ideally would want to react to that situation. Or I let everyone else around me know, hey, guys, I'm doing my best, but I am really tired. Okay? And just bringing an awareness to it and being very mindful of what is or has been guiding your actions throughout the day and your responses and your emotions. The other thing that I do, and I even did it right as I hopped on here because live videos always kind of make me a little antsy for whatever reason, is I use oils. I have a few of them here, and actually right by my desk I always have this one that's called Live Your Passion, Valor, Highest Potential, Gathering. A lot of these have a name on them, so these are blends, but they have a name on them that kind of makes you think about something while you're applying it. And I use those names, and if you have a roller, you can make whatever name up you want. So actually, ironically, I have a roller right here that I made up. This is confident. So when I grab this roller and I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about myself being more confident. So whatever you choose to use, remember that you have other tools at your thing. It's not just all in your brain. You can use little triggers. Maybe it's a people this time of the year, and I've even held workshops where we've made vision boards. So you're visualizing the things that you want, the things that you want to keep on the forefront of your mind, the way you want to act, the way you want to be and be perceived. Um, Little triggers that or habits really that are around you that are going to help to just gently guide you. And do all of these, please don't do all of these all in one day, but maybe just choose one. Say, when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to say 5 things I'm grateful for while I'm making breakfast. Before I go to bed, I'm going to reflect and I'm going to say 3 things positive that happened during my day. Whatever that might be. Okay, just think, start small. Maybe you're just going to be more mindful when you're using your oils and say, hey, I'm going to keep that highest potential with me because I know I have some meetings later, and I'm going to keep it in my car and I'm going to put it on. I used to keep Stress Away in my car so that, like, if I got antsy in traffic or whatever, I would have a reminder or pass it back to the kids. If they were getting antsy in the car, there was a reminder. Hey guys, Stress Away. Wash it away. We're done with that right now. Little triggers, whatever it may be. And if you have your trigger, or you have a tool, I should say, not a trigger. If you have a tool that you use that you love that helps to kind of bring you back to your ideal mindset, like, I would love to hear them. I'd love to, like, hear these things because everyone's going to resonate differently with different tools. You may be like, oh no, the oils are not for me, but I can totally get on board for a gratitude journal. Or others may be the complete opposite. So whatever you have, I would love to hear yours as well. The very last thing I'm going to leave you with here is, so whenever I teach something, this is just like a general thing. Whenever I teach something like this, or even throughout the last year, if you go and you look through the units, you'll see a lot of topics that we've done. And Diane and I have kind of alternated back and forth. Helps to kind of spread out the workload a little bit. But whenever I'm researching one of these things, my mind starts to notice whatever I'm researching. So this week, I'm thinking about mindset, like intensely thinking about it. My daughter's talking about it. I am trying to, remember training that I've had in the past, what I want to say to you guys to help inspire you for a new year. And I opened up this, like, Costco connection. It's literally just like their advertising thing. And in it, literally, the article that I found that popped out to me was Mindset Reset. Okay, I have gotten these magazines in the mail, and I normally just toss them around. And I literally went like this. I just paged like this through it. I didn't open up to a certain page. I didn't look at anything. I did notice this fitness one as well, because I have some personal fitness goals. This one stood out to me, and the Mindset Reset stood out to me. Those are the 2 articles out of this whole, how many pages are even in this thing? Like 150 pages in this, and the 2 articles, this is what stood out to me. These are the 2 things that are on my mind right now. If that's not, like, just screaming how powerful mindset is, like, I don't know how else to explain that. What I'm thinking about learning about, teaching my kids about, and influencing my own decisions about, those are the things that my eye is catching. Okay. And that is, it kind of sums it up. That's the power of mindset. What mindset gives us, that edge. Okay. It's not going to solve all the problems in the world, but it is going to give us a little bit of an edge. Or maybe, just maybe, you'll notice something, you'll react differently, you'll be more proud of yourself at the end of the day for decisions that you made because of the mindset that you chose, versus being driven by external forces or external words, being kind of just like pushed around versus having your own rudder. So that is all we have for today. I hope you picked up some daily habits that are really going to help you. Tomorrow, I'm going to share some resources and some podcasts that are going to be little reminders or little things you can listen to that will kind of help keep you on that track, because it's very easy to get distracted and kind of get pulled from one place to another. So we need these tools in addition to our daily habits. that will kind of help us find where we want to be, our sweet spot. So I hope you guys have a great day, a great Saturday. I hope you had a wonderful new year, and we will be back in here tomorrow with a post with a bunch of resources. Talk to you soon.